Axel's Garage out here with Jeff. We're still day 5 in it. We've done a lot of videos on day 5 because we're getting a lot done today. It's hot, but we're getting shit done. So Steven's door switches are jacked up on the driver's side, and what I mean by that is you really gotta press or pull to get the windows up and down, and the lock unlock is very finicky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. They're just old and crusty, and depending on the life of the vehicle, driver's side window, water spray, driving with the window cracked when it's raining and stuff like that. Additionally, his seat pedals don't work either, and it seems like that the switches don't work, and that could be why they don't work. We don't know. They're in a good spot where they are now, but we figured while we're replacing the master door switch, which really controls a lot of the stuff inside the vehicle through this master door switch. We can't even program remotes for him because the master door switch, you need to be able to consistently hold that lock and unlock button in order to put it in programming mode. We can't do that. We can't push it down and have it make contact long enough to get it into any kind of programming mode. So we picked up a master door switch. They can be a little pricey. You can try to find some on eBay that are used, but a lot of times the used ones don't last too long. Sometimes these don't last too long either. So you're gambling no matter how you go. Don't buy the real cheapos because they just don't seem to last. And what we also got is the switch that goes on the door to move the pedals for your seat memory and for your heated seats. Now, we don't even know if the heated seats work in Stevens because this is completely dead. So we'll find out when we put this in. Hopefully at least we'll get the seat memory working. Like I said, the pedals, if they don't move, they're in a good spot. We're not concerned with the pedals moving in and out. It's more the seat memory would be nice to have if that works. Master door switch we know we need. I'll link it all the stuff that we bought in the description below. You can gamble at your own. You want to go eBay, you could do eBay and get some OEM used stuff. Sometimes they work great, sometimes they don't, because they are going to be almost 20 years old at this point. And make sure that whatever switches that you do wind up getting has the options of your vehicle. A lot of times you might want to check and have a reference of your RPO code decal in your glove compartment as well. So let's get around and pull this door panel off. Depending on what year you're working on, your setup might be slightly different. This particular door panel has a cap over a T20 Torx, which is, I found to be uncommon. I haven't come across one like this before, even though we've had a ton of these vehicles. But that's here. On this side is just a Christmas tree clip, and if you get a trim removal pry bar under it, you can pull it out. Pretty simple and self-explanatory. So now on this side we need a T20. Being lazy and just using this guy here and pulling out this T20. It shouldn't be in incredibly tight, so it should come out. It's long, but it'll come out fairly easily, just like that. All right, now next is this panel around the door handle. Now one of these actually came, the master door switch came with a trim removal tool, which is kind of convenient, and you can get it in there and pry the clips out. You want to pry the bottom and then slide it out from the top, and you pull it out just like that. You can see it slides up into the top and the spring clips are on the bottom end of it. Along with that, you need to get out your guy here for your lock switch, and I believe that it's the forward way it comes out. Well, maybe it's the backward, I don't remember. Yeah, it's the backward. So you go from the back side and then it comes out, because this is going to hook in this way, and this comes out. And what I like to do is leave it just like this so I know which orientation it goes back in. So I'm going to put it on the dash sitting just like that. So now when you have everything apart, You got your screw out here, you got your clip out here. You have a screw right under the grab handle in the corner here, kind of hidden, 7mm, and you got a 7mm right up here. Those are the only other two screws that you need to get this door panel up and then up. One more thing that I did forget, which was this one. So this one come in from, actually if you take the plastic tool that came with the thing, it's even easier. You stick it behind and you just want to pop. There's two plastic clips and then it kind of goes up because it's got this guy here that slides down behind, holding it in place, and then the two clips along there. So once you're like this, now the door panel is just going to go up and then come back out, but you're going to have your wires connected. So if you have your light still here, which this one is missing, the wire is just hanging out inside, you would pop this light. To pop this light, you grab it from the outside, pull it forward, and it'll come right out. But your wires are going to be connected here, so what you will do is once you pop the panel up and bring it, you're going to have to give it the reach around and unplug these switches, and I'll show you why you want to unplug these switches and not try to pull this switch panel out. So up and then back, and now you got your switches, okay, which are pretty tight. And now you just come around and you depress all of the locks on the harnesses, and you could unplug the switches. And once you do that, your door panel comes off. All right, and now with the door panel holding it up, this is the one switch we're replacing, and here's the master door switch. One clips into the other, so I'll pull that one out just to get out of the way, and you can see you got a little, it looks like a 7mm right here, which is holding this in place. You can see this one's broken because somebody tried to get it out without pulling the door panel off, and a lot of people do that. They try to get this switch out without taking the door panel off, and they wind up breaking the top of the switch. Should be okay for us though. So now coming back here, we're going to take this out. You can see it's got broken plastic on it. We'll have to see what that looks like once we get the new one. And then there's a little clip over here that you should be able to either grab with pliers to pop it that way, and it's fighting me. I think I'm gonna get a pair of needle nose and get in there. All right, once you squeeze the metal clamp, this should start to at least push up and out of the housing. Okay, that looks free. All right, and a little bit of brute and it went through, and you can see right here is where that stud was broken off. That's the clip I was squeezing. All right, and there's our switch. Now we just got to get it out of the bezel. So now this bezel has this wood thing over it. So what I am going to do is look at my other one to see what's got to stay and what's got to go on this one. So looking at this one, you could see that this is clipped in. So what you got to do is release these clips here and sort of wiggle it out. Oh, without it snapping back in on that side. There's your old switch. Okay, so I cleaned this up, but what we have is the broken stud is part of this bezel. So that's going to be a broken stud no matter what. Now there's two things you could do. We can now put this in from the top and make our connections because we don't have to get at that screw anymore. Sometimes it'll like fit in to the groove in the door panel and it's not going to flop around. Other times what I've done here is I've taken a dot of silicone, you know, like a 3/8 inch glob of silicone, let it partially dry, put it in place, press it down, and that silicone will hold it in place. You just have to remember for the next disc removal that you have to break that silicone dot in order to get it out. We'll slide this guy in. All right, clip all the clips on this side, make sure all the clips on this side are clipped, which they are, and this is in nice. So that's half of it. The other half is going to be this guy here. Now I've never removed one of these before, but it looks like I got a little metal clip here, and if I take my screwdriver, push it in, it will. I hope I'm on camera. Am I on camera? All right, and looks like I should be able to push it through. Yep. And then this side, comes right out like that because it fit behind it. All right, and here's our old one. So let me grab the new one. Let's see how that one goes in. So with our new one, all right, looks like it's got to go up through here. I'm gonna slide it in, and I'm pushing it this way. Get it into that opening, and then boom, pops right up and in the metal clip there. And it looks good on that side. And there you have it. Now we can start putting it back together. So now we're at the point where I would normally screw in from the bottom that the whole switch assembly, but because of the damage that was there, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my door panel on, and we'll be able to get it from the top side because of that broken piece. So our bottom, see right here, our bottom clips have to go in that bottom. Once you get them in that bottom, pull my wires up, and they're in the bottom. You can start to slide it down, and then push all your other ones in. Make sure they're all pushed in appropriately. And if it's not going in easy, you're in the wrong spot. I'm in over there now. Okay, so it seems like I'm flush everywhere. Now I just gotta go down. And you know you're down all the way if you can see your hole right here and right here, as I can see it well. I need to go down more on the front. There we go. Yep, I got my hole right there and my hole right there. So now before I start putting everything together, what I want to do is make sure that all my switch stuff works. So I'm going to take my switches, I'm going to start plugging everything in. All right, so now I have them all in. Let's see if they work. So now I got my window switch, my auto down works, up works. That one's working. That one's working. That one's working. Lock and unlock are working. That's the child safety on the other windows, so I can go to this one. It's not working. The other window's working in the back. This one here, go that way. I can adjust my mirror, go that way. I can adjust the other mirror, go in the middle, press it this way and they should fold in. And they do. And this way and they should fold out. And they do. Okay, so everything here seems to be working. Now my pedals, pedals still aren't working. Heated seats are lighting up. Alright, heated seats work. Pedals. Are not doing anything. So it's not the switch for the pedals, it's probably a problem with the actuator at the pedals. But what are you going to do? Like we said, the pedals weren't a main concern. It was more to get all the switches working properly. So now you can see here where we have our broken screw would have went through. And then here where the plastic clip would go. So if we get this guy in here, you can see how it sort of goes right up under this thing. So if we could pop it into place, which I'm having some trouble getting it all to fit. Alright, so we got it over there. Okay, so you got to tuck it up and under, and that one goes down, and that one's popped in. And this one is going to move that much, which I think is okay. I think we can leave it like that. It's going to work. Good to go. So now we have to put our screws back in. So we have this middle one that goes right here. Got a 7mm back. It's only going in plastic, so just snug it up. Nothing crazy. On this side we got our Christmas tree clip. Goes right in, just push it in place. On this side we have our Torx. So we're going to find that hole, grab our T20. Snug that up, doesn't have to be super tight. And then snap the cover piece on it. And you're good there. And then we got our main. Why I reference this as the main is because when you're pulling this door handle, that's the one that's holding everything together. Again, just snug. Nothing crazy. Now you got your trim plate. Remember, this one here is going to go in first because that's the way it's designed. So you slide that up and behind, and these other ones will just snap in place like that. Perfect. All right, so moving up to this top one here where the lock unlock is. Unlock is that way, lock is that way. You got to put the front in first, so it's easier if you lock it so that the shaft, let me move you. So it's easier if you lock it because this has got to go in that way first. So if you lock it, that's back. So you slide that in, and then you sort of wiggle this guy, making sure that this rod goes into the slot. And you make sure it works. All right, that's all she wrote. Did forget one piece, which is this top one. It's got the big clip on the things on the bottom on the thing. So you slide it down and then line up your push clips after you slide it down behind the door panel, and then it's in. That's easy. It's that easy. Holy cow. Anyway, master door switch and the seat adjuster switch, whatever they call it. Hopefully the memory seats will work now that we have new buttons here. This part here where the pedal adjustment is. So this is new, this is new. I'm going to assume that my pedal adjustment problem is with the pedals, but they're in a spot where they're good. He's comfortable driving. I'm comfortable driving as well when I've driven it. So we're not really going to worry about that because that's just an expense that we don't need to encounter right now. Maybe next summer when he comes home for the summer, I'll get another set of pedals or something and we'll figure out what's going on down there. But in the meantime, I think everything is perfect. The seat memory hopefully works. And that's it. He's almost ready to go. We've got a couple days left to button up some little things. I will put everything we use today in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.